Over the years, the people to the south of us have claimed the Canadian bald eagle as their emblem, and so they want to call it the American bald eagle. Well, of course, most of the bald eagles come from Canada, so they're Canadian bald eagles. We share them with them. We share them. We're largely extent known for having introduced cameras into bald eagle nests, and that's now become quite popular, not only in America, but there are wildlife cameras now all over the world, but we kind of pioneered that. The bald eagle is one of the world's 7 big fish eagles, and they're literally all over North America. Wherever there are riparian ways, waterways, rivers, creeks, ponds, lakes, oceans, there you will find eagles for part of the year. An incredibly productive bird, and once America quit shooting eagles, the eagle began to tame down. It began to accept humans. And in our area here, where I am in the Fraser Valley, in the early 60s, I did aerial surveys and I could find 3 pairs of nesting bald eagles. Fortunately, we quit doing that, and the eagle has rewarded us. They assessed that we're not going to shoot them. It took about 25 years for this to happen, but that we wouldn't shoot them, and that the towns had more food availability in them than the wilderness. And a kind of simple example of that is out on, when I did surveys of like 1,000 eagle nests out on the wilderness coast, they would be barely producing 1 young per nest. Here in the town, we're producing an awful lot higher percentage raising 2 young. There's just so much more food, so much ditches full with fish and muskrats along the edges of every little ditch. It is rabbit habitat, and foxes, and of course feral cats. All of these make wonderful food, particularly since cars run them over. These are not quarry that eagles would normally readily catch, but they do like roadkills. We're the south in the winter for bald eagles. We are the southern place where they accumulate, where there is food all winter. Right here, the last big food source in Canada. There's so many fish in our river, and the timing is perfect because our salmon spawn late in the year, November, and they're available in the rivers in December, January, and sometimes into February. So all our eagles, when they have nested June, even July and August in the Fraser Valley, they all with their young fly north because that's where the early salmon are laying on the rivers from late June onward. So there's millions of pounds of free food, and they've all learned to go north to it. But, and there's the big but as winter encroaches in November, and then the water gets all frozen. There can be salmon in the river, dead ones, spawned out ones, but it's under ice. So the eagles move southward, and that's when we get our huge quantities of eagles. It's in November, December. Often the peak is even into January. We have these 35,000 eagles coming through the Fraser Valley, accumulating here all winter, because we don't freeze up here. So our salmon carcasses are always available.